In off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. As we get set to watch Josh Rosen command this offense, the number 10 pick in the 2018 draft.
In his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 18 carries, 127 yards.
And the way they ran the ball last week has to bring a smile to the faces of the entire coaching staff, because not only are they seeing a back pile up yardage, they're seeing an offensive line in sync, and that bodes well this late in the season.
He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
On second down, here's Rosen. His throw incomplete. He was looking for the tight end, Adam Shaheen, that time. And it's third and short. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, it's Rosen. Over the middle, the tight end Shaheen with it. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. A look now at the defensive starters for the Saints. They were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball's thrown.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Of course, he's coming off that NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance. 2 scores in that game a week ago.
And how did he get them? Speed is one thing, but how about the niftiness in his route running, able to cross people up in the secondary and make sure that they can't quite get to him before the ball arrives. He's something after the catch as well.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Kill.
This is Breida. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing on third, gone. And Walker with it over the middle. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down.
Marlin. DC. 17. DC. Maverick.
Here we go on fourth. Gone. That's to his running back, complete. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on fourth down. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now a first down throw. Gone. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection if you miss? With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out.
All right. Come on out. Ric Flair. Listen.
Again, Goff. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. On second down, here's Goff. The quick slant caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. In for the score. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So jumping from his free safety spot.
That tells you how aggressive they are in defense, doesn't it? They get everyone involved. He was a little too fast on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Running, it's Drake. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. 20. Jones breaking from the contact. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield.
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Goff now to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his fifth catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A very solid gain of 27.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Gone. Now, only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Here's the backup now, the former Badger, Melvin Gordon. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
To throw on 2nd down is gone. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So we're back in the offense. It's getting set following the call of that timeout. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
Single left, right 20. Single 5.
A shotgun snap for gone. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And not only did he not get in the end zone, he didn't get the 1st down either. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
And now a timeout defensively after that 1st down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender.
Oh.
To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. And they'll run it here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. 31-10 was the final score. From there, let's head to New Jersey. The Jets at home at MetLife Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting New England Patriots. Aaron Rodgers carving them up with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. The Bills trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now trotting back out with the rest of his offensive mates, the big tight end. And some of his highlights here from this game, he's nearing 100 yards, Parker.
And defensive have worked so hard at how to try to slow down tight ends. It was a lot easier.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st down, gone. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on 1st down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down. Makes it manageable now.
On 3rd down, it's Vaughn. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. They are going for it. Goff throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
2nd and 10. It's Rosen again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. To throw is Rosen. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the... pick up on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll go option on 2nd down, right side. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. He has enough for the first down on the keeper, a gain of 6.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Well, where do you find that one in the playbook, Charles?
You don't. You absolutely don't. And sometimes what happens is guys want to make a big play, and they turn it into a really bad one. Sometimes your best...
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Kenny Stills, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Gets past one man. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Check 50.
Now it's Breida. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down.
Well, that wasn't just a loss. That was a loss of big yardage there. So the sense you're starting to get is that offensively things are starting to pile up against them, and they've got to find a way to stop that. Conversely, how about the great call by the defensive coordinator? He realized that he's got him on the run a little bit. That call was made to get upfield penetration by his defensive front to try and get into the gaps, get upfield into the backfield.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Catch number 44 of on the year. It's a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're... Seeing more and more coming into the league, those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And they'll go on the ground. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, You enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
Has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that'll push the lead up to 8. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. He's back to throw. No